From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Keeping COVID-19 under control is a major concern as we head into the colder months. Now at 4:30, the steps state leaders are taking to protect you and your family this winter. Plus, a judge is moving the deadline for mail-in ballots here in Indiana. This morning, how state leaders and voting advocates are responding to that decision. And a big shakeup to the Brickyard weekend at IMS. This morning, the changes track and NASCAR officials are making for next year. First here at 4:30, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey, and Todd Klossman is standing by with me today in the studio. Todd, what can folks expect as they wake up and head out the door this Thursday?
You know, more of the same. It's a cool morning with clear skies here across the area, Lauren, so you definitely need to have the jacket handy. And then as we go into the afternoon hours, just like we have the past couple days, we'll start to build in that cloud cover. So the first half of the day is essentially going to be the brightest and calmest part of the day. 42 in Peru, 46 in Indianapolis. So Indy's running a little bit cooler this morning than it was yesterday. Bloomington right around 51 degrees. That's on par for your Wednesday temperatures. But as we go throughout this Thursday, we're going to enjoy clear skies. This morning, here's a look from downtown to the north, and you can see the visibility unlimited as you look in this direction. The satellite radar picture confirms that. Back off to the west, though, there are some clouds. There are some spotty showers, and these will pivot and make their way through the area later on this afternoon. So it's a bright start to the day with sunshine through about mid-morning. Then we turn it partly cloudy, and then as we get into the afternoon and evening hours, skies will be mostly cloudy. Could even be a spot shower or two. Temperatures today cooler than yesterday, but it's not as windy with highs in the low 60s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out early on this Thursday. Here's a live look on the southeast side, I-465, a view here near Arlington Avenue. Traffic is traveling up to speed here. No delays to slow you down. A reminder, just north of this spot on Sherman Drive, we have that closed between Minnesota and Alota Street for some drainage improvements, and that closure will last through November. Let's take a look now up at I-69 State Road 13. You can see traffic here is traveling up to speed northbound and southbound. So if you're in Madison County or in Hamilton County and you're using Interstate 9 this morning, everything looks to be traveling okay. Of course, we will continue to keep our eyes on your roads and keep you updated. But new from overnight, a semi driver has died following a crash. This happened up on the northeast side of town. This crash happened around 11 o'clock on westbound I-465 near Allisonville Road. Police say the driver went off the interstate, causing the truck to roll over and hit a light pole.
Semi truck, when it rolled over it went off the interstate, it struck a high-rise utility pole, for lack of better terminology, at which time it damaged that. So we have IPL en route to assess that to see if they're going to have to replace the pole or what kind of modifications they're going to have to make.
Well, the driver's name has not been released pending family notification. Be aware they may still be working in the right lanes at this hour. If you plan to vote by mail, the deadline on when it reaches your county election office has been extended. That's thanks to a court ruling earlier this week that struck down the deadline of noon on Election Day. As long as your ballot is postmarked by November 3rd, it will be counted, and as long as it reaches the election office by November 13th. It's expanding a law already in place, according to Common Cause Indiana, the nonpartisan organization who filed this lawsuit.
We already allow voters who cast a provisional ballot and those who vote from overseas or in the military. They already get the 10-day window. So we're simply extending that window to all mail-in voters.
Common Cause Indiana is hopeful that the judge's ruling will stand and won't be challenged by Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill. This morning, Hill's office says they are reviewing and considering any options. This morning, you still have time to register to vote. The deadline is Monday. You can register online at indianavoters.in.gov. Many groups will be hosting in-person registration events in the coming days, including Ivy Tech. A drive-through voter registration runs from 9 to 6 on Friday at the campus off Fall Creek Parkway between Illinois and Capitol. Let's turn now to the coronavirus pandemic and its continued impact here in the state of Indiana. State health officials are reporting that the Hoosier state is rounding out September with 20 more coronavirus deaths. That's the same number reported on Tuesday. Since the pandemic began, more than 3,400 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19. State health officials also report 965 new cases of COVID-19 in our state. Since the pandemic began, more than 120,000 coronavirus cases have been reported in Indiana. So this This morning, we are digging deeper into a troubling trend our state is now seeing when it comes to COVID-19 numbers. Hospitals across Indiana are admitting more COVID patients, and the state's daily rolling average positivity rate is starting to creep upwards again. Now, the healthcare workers are concerned about what's to come this winter. Frontline healthcare workers are worried that people will get complacent, and now that we've moved to another stage of reopening. State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach says that this increase is not due to Indiana moving into stage 5. She says those being hospitalized now likely contracted the virus 2 weeks ago before the state moved out of stage 4.5.
They are all reporting increased numbers of cases in the hospital. They are all doing extremely well and did not feel like they needed anything additional from the State Department of Health at this point in time, but know that we're here to help at any point in time that they would need it.
Not all hospitals in central Indiana are experiencing an increase in COVID-19 patients. A Franciscan health nurse tells us that their numbers have continued to track downward since the peak in April and May. This morning, parents can now look at coronavirus data for their child's school. The state launched the school dashboard on Wednesday. Dr. Christina Bach says the dashboard is still a work in progress and it's still being tweaked. The dashboard does not include career centers or juvenile facilities. Bach says the dashboard is available now on the state's coronavirus website, and it should not be seen as a comprehensive list. This morning, investigators are trying to figure out why a man drove off I-465 and into a retention pond. That car was found in the pond off Pendleton Way. 44-year-old Ronald Wade was found dead inside the car. He was reported missing on Monday. This morning, police are working to learn whether Wade's death was caused by a crash or something else. This morning, a lawsuit filed by the Satanic Temple alleges an advertising company unfairly refused to display their billboards. The billboard promotes a ritual offered by the group to help people bypass abortion rules. The Massachusetts group filed the lawsuit against Lamar Advertising in Arkansas State Court for religious discrimination. The Satanic Temple says that Lamar refused to display 8 billboards in Indiana and Arkansas. Lamar has not responded to our request for comment. Brickyard 400 has been part of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's annual calendar for 27 years. NASCAR will be back in 2021, but taking a new twist on running at the Brickyard. IMS announcing a doubleheader Brickyard weekend next summer. NASCAR and IndyCar will both run on the Speedway's road course on August 14th and 15th. The two series raced together for the first time here on the weekend of July 4th, but the Xfinity Series went on the road course, and that race was a big hit, so NASCAR has decided to move the Cup cars there next summer. Drivers from both series are buzzing with some excitement about this new combo.
It's about putting on the race that the fans want to see. And so obviously change is going to happen anytime you open it up for that form. And I'm okay with that. That's what makes our world turn, is our race fans.
There's no reason to work against each other. These sports can help lift motorsports together. And hopefully that can happen. And a weekend like this is a great opportunity to do so.
And another race weekend kicks off in Speedway later today with practice and qualifying for the Harvest GP. Tickets are also still available for Friday and Saturday's IndyCar races on the road course. Tickets for today are $15 and they go to $25 and $35 on race days. Up to 10,000 fans will be allowed in each day. All tickets this year are digital with mobile and print-at-home options available. So the travel industry was among the hardest hit by the coronavirus pandemic. Just ahead this morning when one airline says it'll have to cut thousands of workers. Todd.
And temperatures this morning are in the 50s across most of the area. It's dry right now, but off to our west, there are some spotty showers that you see here in Wisconsin as well as Iowa. These are all going to swing in our direction as the day goes on. We'll talk all about it coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast here on Good Morning Indiana when we continue after the break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 4:42 on our Thursday. Here's a live look at your commute through the downtown area. I-65 and I-70 at the north split. Traffic here is moving along up to speed this morning. No major issues. Of course, we'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout your Thursday. We'll let you know if there are any trouble spots you should avoid. At 4:42, the dust has settled on the first presidential debate, but the fallout continues this morning. ABC's Andrew Dimbert is in Washington now with the changes the debate commission is considering going forward.
47-year period.
This morning, fallout from what's being called the worst debate in American history.
The radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen.
President Trump called it fun.
I thought the debate last night was great. We've gotten tremendous reviews on it.
But some lawmakers from both sides of the aisle say President Trump went too far with the insults and interruptions.
Just don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Now, both candidates hit the campaign trail running. Trump with a signature rally claiming victory.
The verdict is in. All of us won big last night.
Joe Biden kicking off a train tour in Cleveland, Ohio, calling Trump's performance a national embarrassment.
We can't take 4 more years of this president.
Then on to Pennsylvania, telling voters Trump is trying to distract from the coronavirus pandemic.
He thinks that if he just yells louder and louder, throws out lie after lie after lie, he'll get his way. He thinks we'll forget.
Meanwhile, the president is left trying to clean up this troubling debate moment where he did not outright condemn a white supremacist group when asked to do so.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
The extremist group adopting that quote, "stand back and stand by," as a new slogan.
White supremacists, they clearly love you and support you. Do you welcome that?
I want law and order to be a very important part. It's a very important part of my campaign.
You denounce them. Do you denounce
I've
them?
always denounced any form of any of that. You have to denounce.
And now the debate commission is planning changes at the next 2 debates, promising to use what it calls additional tools to maintain order. And while Trump touts the debate as a big win in his re-election bid, a Joe Biden campaign official tells ABC News they raised $21.5 million online Wednesday, their best day of the race so far. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
At 4:44, another execution on the books for Federal Corrections Complex out in Terre Haute. The Justice Department has scheduled Orlando Hall to be put to death on November 19th. Hall helped kidnap and kill a Texas teenager, Lisa Rennie, back in 1994. The prosecutors say that her death was to get revenge on her brothers for botching a $5,000 marijuana deal. The Trump administration has already performed 7 executions so far this year, following a nearly 2-decade hiatus. A shooting at a popular mall in Nashville, Tennessee is under investigation this morning. That shooting happened near a food court at the Opry Mills Mall around 6:30 Wednesday evening. Police say 2 groups of people started fighting when those shots were fired. Investigators say the man is in critical condition and they'll talk to him when he or anyone is available. The shoppers inside the mall say that they heard what sounded like balloons popping and they had to make a quick decision to protect themselves.
Here on the news, you see other things that happen in other locations and you don't really think about it until it happens, to you, and you hear that and then you're forced to make a decision and it's scary. You just have to kind of stop and listen and figure out what makes sense at the time.
And pray real hard that you make the right decision.
Police called this a targeted shooting, but they say they haven't made any arrests so far this morning. This isn't the first shooting at that popular mall. A man was killed in a shooting at the mall back in 2018. At 4:46, if you have a Ford parked in the driveway this morning, you'll want to listen up. That automaker is recalling more than 700,000 vehicles. Ford says the backup cameras can suddenly go dark or show distorted images. The recall covers most 2020 models of the F-Series trucks. It also includes the 2020 Explorer, Mustang, Transit, Expedition, Escape, Ranger, and Edge. The Lincoln, Natalis, and Corsair are also included. Dealers there will replace the cameras at no cost to owners. The recall is expected to start November 7th. It is 4:46 though on our Thursday, and let's check in with Todd and see what our precipitation's been like this month. Todd, we're rounded out September. It's now the first day of October.
I know. We flipped the calendar to October, so September 2020 officially goes into the record books as the driest September on record for the city of Indianapolis, and it's the 4th driest month ever. We only saw 0.12 of an inch of rain, and we added to that as we went into the day on Monday. Otherwise, it would have been the driest month ever for the city of Indianapolis. So we obviously desperately need some rainfall. There's some spotty showers in the forecast later on this afternoon and into the evening hours, but we're not looking at any big storms with any soaking rains heading our way anytime soon. Partly cloudy this morning, 46 as you walk out the door in Indianapolis. Feels like 42 though, starting to factor in a little bit of a wind chill. The winds have calmed though from where they were yesterday afternoon and evening, now out of the west at 7 miles per hour all across central Indiana. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. 43 in Greencastle, Greenfield at 46, Richmond at 42 degrees, a little warmer to the south in Bloomington, and it's 42 up in Prue. As the day goes on, you'll notice more in the way of cloud cover. We start off with clear skies, plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 40s through about 9 a.m. Then we bounce up into the 50s, and by the noon hour, we're right at 60 degrees, and then we stay in the low 60s throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours as skies go mostly cloudy across the area. So it's going to be a cooler day for us here across the area, but we're not looking at a ton in the way of rainfall. What we have going on is still this area of low pressure spinning away here to the north, and it's just going to pinwheel a few spotty showers around as we get into the peak heating of the day. So this morning it's really quiet. Once we get into the afternoon hours by about 3, 4 o'clock, you'll notice some spotty showers start to blossom across the area, and they'll make their way through the area during the evening hours. The potentially pockets of heavier rainfall will be to the north, and then as the sun sets, when we get into the evening hours, a lot of those showers will start to fade away. Highs today will be topping off anywhere from 61 in Peru, 65 in Bloomington, 63 today in Indianapolis. This evening, the clouds will fade for clear skies once again, just like they did last night. Sunset is at 7:27. And then for the day tomorrow, it's a cool day. We probably stay only in the 50s for your Friday with partly sunny skies in the afternoon hours. And then as we work our way into your weekend, Saturday still temperatures into the 30s, frost a possibility, 61 on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Sunday's the best chance of rain in this forecast with scattered showers moving through. And then next week will be fairly cool, but we'll see temperatures eventually climb up into the 70s by Wednesday. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at I-465 and Allisonville Road. That's where we had that deadly semi-crash in the overnight hours. Be aware that crews are still out there this morning. The right 2 lanes still blocked as you're traveling westbound on I-465 approaching Allisonville Road. Traffic can still get by, however, and right now traffic's pretty light, so it's not causing any delays, but this is a spot we'll continue to monitor throughout the morning, likely still cleaning up some damage there. Let's take a look right now across town. This is on the west side, our NDOT traffic camera at I-465 near Rockville Road. Here you can see traffic is moving along up to speed northbound and southbound on your interstate. No problems here. We'll continue to keep you updated on any issues that might slow you down. This morning, the clock is ticking in Washington to throw a lifeline to the airline industry. American Airlines says it plans to furlough 19,000 employees later today, but that's only a fraction of the jobs that could be on the line. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker says the airline has no choice but to make cuts after attempts to get more federal money failed. On Wednesday, Congress and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin were considering a multi-trillion-dollar stimulus package, including $25 billion in help for the nation's airlines. Researchers say they found evidence of salty ponds under the surface of Mars. Italian scientists searched the subsurface of the red planet with an instrument on the European Space Agency's Mars Express spacecraft. They say it confirmed lakes that they already knew existed in several other smaller patches of water. The ponds are different sizes and strips of dry land separate them from the main lake. Scientists believe this once again raises the possibility there may be life on Mars. A New Mexico server getting the tip of a lifetime, a cool $1,200. The tip comes as part of a Venmo challenge on TikTok. Jenny and Christy saw the social media users across the world are asking their followers to donate small amounts, contributing towards a big tip at restaurants. Well, this past month alone, the women have raised $1,200 for one lucky server.
We wanted to be able to be a light in the community
Yes.
and to spread inspiration and hope.
I'm extremely grateful. I love my community. I just never thought I would be chosen to receive something like this. It's been rough lately, so this is just like amazing, honestly. Me and my daughter are gonna have a little fun with it, so just really made my day, and I'm just so grateful.
Well, this was their second act of generosity. Earlier in September, Jenny and Christy also surprised a waitress at another restaurant with $370. They plan on collecting donations every month for more surprise tips. What a great idea. Well, the coronavirus pandemic is forcing us to find a new way to do almost everything, and that includes getting together with our friends. So coming up, the way one group of Massachusetts women has found a way to keep on knitting. Plus, with the calendar change to October comes cooler temps and the flu season. So coming up all new here at 5 o'clock, our own Kelsey Anderson is live with an event happening today to help protect you and your family. It's 4:52 on your Thursday. We'll be right back. It is 4:56 this morning. A group of women near Boston are getting through the pandemic one stitch at a time. The Tuesday Pandemic Knitting Circle gets together every week at the town square in Norwood, Massachusetts. The goal is to knit with friends and have a little sanctuary from all the pressures of the pandemic. Some of the members say that socializing is important these days. The group started meeting outside after bans on indoor gatherings, but since then, they haven't missed a single week.
Every Tuesday, it's been like this. We haven't lost a single Tuesday. We just couldn't let it stop.
The group is still looking for a place to knit when the weather gets cold. And Todd, I bet up there in New England, they're starting to get some leaves changing over.
I have some friends from high school that live in Vermont, and I've been seeing all their pictures, and it is absolutely beautiful. Leaves changing a little bit earlier this year compared to previous years, and a lot of that depends on the temperatures and the amount of rain in each given area. Our peak season here is coming up towards the end of the month. Central Indiana today, 64 degrees, increasing clouds, some spot showers possible this afternoon and into the evening hours. Tomorrow, partly cloudy but cool at 59. 61 on Saturday, scattered showers and cool temperatures on Sunday with a high of only 59 degrees. The time now is 4:57. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We're back here in just a couple minutes.